Hello, this is Michelle Sizemore, Independent Advisor with Creative Memories. You can find my website link in the description below if you want to find me or place an order. Today you'll learn how to make this wreath. It's kind of like a fall, it makes me think of a grapevine wreath using Creative Memories tools. And I used the custom cutting system with the circles, and I used this border punch and this border punch. So I'll show you how I did that. And before I do it, I'm going to show you another option. You use the same technique, but this gives you a different look. And this is using patterned papers from our Golden Harvest collection. So if you can see, these have more texture to them, a little bit of a pattern. And this even is actually wood paper, so it looks a little bit more two-toned. So that's two ways you can make it, but I'm going to show with the cardstock. Okay, first of all, I'm going to grab a piece of brown cardstock from my Power Project folder. This is how I store all my cardstock to keep it straight. I've got like smaller pieces in this pocket here, squares and rectangles and circles here, my bigger pieces here, and then I put the strips on the back in these two pockets. And you can feel these things really, really full. So I need a good bit of this paper, so I'm going to grab just, I don't want to use my whole sheet, so I'm going to grab some partial sheets. I think they'll be big enough, so we'll see. Okay, this is how to make, I'm going to show you how to make two kinds of circles on here. Set that aside. First, I need my mat that goes with the custom cutting system. And these patterns, I'm going to grab something so you can see these a little bit better. These have, this is just a pattern to go by. You don't cut on this, but this helps you to know which circle you want to choose. So I'm going to show you how I picked the size I wanted, because I wanted a circle. So this is a bunch of overlapping circles, so I'm just going to kind of look at one of them. And I think I used this one, and it does look like I did use this one. Okay, so this is what you do. I'm going to grab a partially used piece of cardstock, and I want to cut on the outside of this because I want these, the bigger. If you cut on the inside, you get these little ones. I really need a piece of white paper to show you this better. And here we go. Here's a piece of white. Okay, so this is the one I want. Now, I want to cut some with two different widths, like some really skinny ones and one medium skinny one. So the first one I'm going to do, I want to show you how to cut the widest one that I want. So you line the circle pattern up with the black lines on here. That's the outside and the inside black lines. Okay? That's just how you know which template to use. Now these lines on the outside, there's a red, a green, and a blue. That just shows you if you use these blades in the same track, if you use the red one, it's going to cut closest to your circle. If you use the green one, it cuts in between the red and the blue. And if you use the blue one, it's going to cut further out and be the biggest. So I'm actually going to use all of these in different ways. So I'm going to set this aside. I don't need this anymore. That was just to help me know which circle to use. Now, the first one I'm going to cut is going to be the widest one. So I'm going to use the blue blade because remember, sorry, I've got a mess over here. It was the furthest out. When you're doing these rings, you want to cut the widest part first, and I'll show you why. So, and then these two little notches fit inside this track. If they're not both in there, it will not cut right. So it'll be a mess. So they're both in there and the blade's over here. So I'm going to hold this down with my left hand and cut a circle. Now, very important, do not move this at all. Keep it in the same spot. Keep your hand on here. Now I'm going to go use the red one because the red one cuts closest in. You have to cut the wide one first, the widest one, and then the smallest one next. Okay, so now I've got a ring. Now that is the widest ring that I wanted, and I think I just need one of those, so I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to cut a skinnier ring. And I'm going to use the same technique, except I'm going to use the green blade first because it cut in between the blue and the red. And go around, make sure my two little notches are in the track, and they are. And if you feel like there's any point where you let up and it didn't cut, you can always go backwards. The blades work both ways. So do not move this. Make sure it does not move. Hold your hand on there. Now we're going to cut with the red, which is the one that's the closest in. Notice how I went backwards. I could tell that I let up a little bit too much. Okay. Now, I have my skinnier ring. So, goodness. All right. So what we're going to do, and I've already pre-cut some other skinny ones, well, different size ones. So you don't have to go through watching me do all those. All right, now I'm going to lay down my widest one first and go ahead and mount that down. I'm going to use my repositionable tape runner. I'm going to use it on, yeah, I forgot to get my cardboard, so I'm just going to use it on a, don't use your cardstock this way. Use like one of the cardboards that come out of the back of the cardstock, but I just didn't want to find it and use time, so I'm going to do it on this piece of cardstock. But you do want to have something under it because you don't want the tape runner. This is a repositionable tape runner that comes out in little clear dots. You don't want the excess to stick to your table or to anything important. So just put it on some scratch paper. So I'm going to mount that down. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my skinny ones. And just kind of offset them a little bit. Because you want it to look, you know, like those real ones that are like twigs wrapped around. Here's another skinny one. I'm going to offset it a little bit this way. And I'll probably do one more skinny one. And here it is. Do my tape runner. Okay. And do it that way. No, that's too close. So I'm going to offset that just a little bit more. Maybe down here. I like that better. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Now kind of rub it around to make sure everything's stuck. Okay, I need more tape runner on that, obviously, because it keeps messing up. So let's do that. Okay. Can tell that my husband just got home from work, so I hope he doesn't knock on the door. But if he does, he does. Okay, so that's how to get all of that part. And then I'm going to use this punch right here to cut a strip of brown. So you put your paper in here, line it up at the line right here to start, press your thumb down and punch. And then you want to pull it down. And you want to put your cardstock over the blue so that you don't see any of the blue. And that way you know your pattern is matched up. Hold it in place and punch again. And you continue to do that all the way down. I'll do it one more time. Okay, but I would do it all the way down. I'm just saving time. All right. Now on this, I didn't use this whole thing. I just snipped a few off. Okay, I'm going to snip them off. And they're kind of like a little bit of a background leaf on here. Okay. I'm going to do one more. So I've just got a few, and maybe one more. I don't remember how many I used, so I'm just going to cut some more. And then you can always use the rest for something else. All right, so that was this border punch. Now I'm going to use this border punch, which is called Autumn Leaves. And I'm going to cut some different colors, like orange, yellow, green, and crimson. Or it might be called brick. This works exactly the same way as the other punch. So I'm going to cut one strip of orange just to show you how I did it. You want to match the pattern up here. Make sure it's covered up. The blue's covered up. Make sure it's straight, and against this lip right here, I'm holding it down with my finger right here. And then you continue to go all the way down. You're getting a row of oranges. Now, I've already pre-punched a bunch of these to save time. And the thing is, I hope I can find them. And even if I can't, it's okay. All right, so I'm going to actually cut these apart. And you just kind of do as many as you think you need. Cut them apart into individual leaves. And you're going to cut, with the border punch, you're going to do all of those colors. I mentioned the names of them before, and I'll show them to you again. And you cut your leaves apart, okay? Pretty simple. And then all you do is mount your leaves. So I would kind of go like this, do an orange one like this, put a yellow, crimson, green, and alternate until I get them to where I like them. And I put some here and here. And then we have brown sticker letters. I like this font, and I just added sticker letters here. Super easy, and I added it all with my repositionable typewriter. So again, you have that look, or you can do this look. You could also do it in the spring with spring colors, Christmas with Christmas stuff like poinsettias and things. Mix it up and match it up the way you like it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.